call on members. Order of the day number 5.
Environmental Protection Authority, Protection of Environment Amendment Bill, first reading.
Mr Speaker.
I call Neka Waitiri.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker.
Tēnā koe.
I ngā memo te wharenei, tēnā tātou katoa. Mr Speaker, I move that the Environmental Protection Authority Protection of Environment Amendment Bill be now read a first time, and I nominate the Local Government and Environmental Committee to consider the bill. Mr Speaker, I'm pleased to have the opportunity to introduce the Environmental Protection Authority Protection of Environment Amendment Bill and recommend that the House refers my bill to Select Committee for further debate. This bill amends the Environmental Protection Authority Act 2011 by adding an additional objective that the organisation must aim to protect, maintain and enhance New Zealand's environment. When the Act was passed, the stated objective of the Environmental Protection Authority contained an important oversight, in that it did not actually require the protection of the environment as part of the authority's role. This bill aims to correct that defect. Sir, what this bill does is place protection of New Zealand's precious natural environment right at the heart of the law governing the Environmental Protection Authority. This bill does this by cementing in legislation Environmental Protection Authority's role in protecting the environment by amending Section 12, subsection 1, by asserting the following clause: protects, maintains and enhances New Zealand's environment. 7 small words, Mr Speaker, but very, very important words. Sir, this bill is especially important in light of media reports this morning saying staff at the Environmental Protection Authority are struggling to determine what the mission of the organisation is. Who are they accountable to? The Minister or the public? We, sir, do not want a situation in the future where short-term economic thinking is allowed to impinge on the Environmental Protection Authority's function because the agency's mission is legally unclear. Sir, this bill will help make the Environmental Protection Authority a better performing organisation by giving it a clear, well-articulated mission, placing environmental protection at the core of everything they do. No ambiguity, sir, no confusion. It is an honour to have one's private member's bill drawn from the ballot. I believe members who bring private bills to the House do it with the utmost honourable intention to address often very important issues, and that we strive for clarity and practicality in our bills. For this bill, sir, the words protects, maintains and enhances New Zealand's environment is not only very clear, but is also very practical. And I hope this fact is not lost to members across the House. This is an uncontroversial bill, sir. New Zealand's beautiful natural environment is a fundamental part of our natural identity. As the proud member of Ikaro Rāwhiti, I, like many of my people, introduce myself by my maunga, my mountain, my awa, my river, my hapu, my sub-tribe, my iwi, my tribe, and by my waka, which connects me tribes to other tribes, but more importantly, connects Māori to our Pacific relations. Sir, this is a priceless inheritance we received from our tipuna ancestors before us, and that we have a responsibility to leave to our children and grandchildren. My maunga, my awa, my iwi, my waka is me, and I am them. Their protection and preservation is my duty, Their protection and preservation is my responsibility. Sir, our environment is also one of our biggest natural advantages as a country. Our 100% pure green image is a boom to our exporters and our tourist industry. But if we don't protect it, sir, we will lose culturally, socially, and economically. We hear often from my colleagues across the House that it's about choice. You can have a thriving economy or you can have a clean environment.
That's right.
Mr. Speaker, in Labour, we firmly believe in a balanced approach, a thriving economy from a protected environment. We believe, as Gaylord Nelson once said, the economy is a wholly owned subsidiary of the environment, not the other way round. As the government agency responsible for regulatory management of New Zealand's environment, the Environmental Protection Authority is a vital part of protecting our environment for future generations. Sir, the omission and the regulations around the Environmental Protection Authority of protecting the environment is not spelled out in legislation. This bill aims to fix that. If we want to protect our environment for the future, we must ensure its legislative safeguards are long-lasting. We've just seen today how a lack of statutory clarity can create problems when multiple internal reviews at the Environmental Protection Authority can lead to confusion over the agency's mission, as we heard on Morning Report today. Sir, my bill is a sensible reform that unambiguously has the explicit objective of protecting, maintaining and enhancing New Zealand's environment. 7 very small but important words. It will end the confusion for the Environmental Protection Authority and ensure better protection of our environment. This bill will offer more consistency across New Zealand's environmental legislation as stated under Section 6 of the Resource Management Act, which requires all persons exercising powers under it should recognise and provide for the preservation and protection of various aspects of New Zealand's environment. Sir, to ensure consistency across New Zealand's large marine environment, it is sensible to make this change to the Environmental Protection Authority Act. Sir, if opposers to this bill have drafting concerns, then the Select Committee will provide an opportunity to discuss the best approach to inserting a reference to protect the environment in this Act. It will allow, sir, for expert evidence to be presented and for a full discussion on how we maximise the protection we give our environment. Sir, in closing, this bill is very clear.
That's right.
It is very consistent with other legislation and it makes good sense. I commend this bill to the House. I ask that the House support it to Select Committee and help us take steps to give our beautiful natural environment the protection it deserves in the years to come. Kia ora, Mr. Speaker.